many reasonable minds of this world, what I am referring to would seem out of place. But once a person has real experiences and is able to position themselves with the true reality, the is, then they will recognize the ultimate value of free will. It may sound funny, but even those who are always planning on destroying others have the right to do so. I am not agreeing with what they are doing, but merely pointing to the real fact of free will. As a person becomes more aware, they will learn about the natural reality of cause and effect, which is labeled as karma. As a person positions themselves with the true reality, they are no longer interested in any of the old destructive ways of the human consciousness, and they learn to evolve and excel themselves into what I term the real universes of pure light. Dean Val or Sandy or Kelsey?
Yeah, Randy talked about the confirmations that he asked for, and he got it. He got the confirmation, that was real, or that whatever he asked for, it came in a dream or intuition, and I did that too. Even before I came into the new presentation, I used this technique of asking. I used it through my physical body, my physical exercises that I was doing at the time. But I would ask certain things of life, and then I would get a response, and it was really cool the way it happened. I'd get something out there responded to me, to my questions, you could say, or my considerations that I put out there. And I used it through my physical movement, but I learned that there was something out there. In my own way, I did these experiments that helped me to understand that there's something more out there. Something was listening, something beyond anything that I could consider. And I learned that that you could use different experiments or different ways of connecting to this reality. I mean, right now we're using the new you. That's the current thing that we're using. It's the quickest way, the direct way to connect to this reality. But it's interesting to hear other people's experiences and how they connect to it and what they get. And I remember Paul Twitchell talking about how, so he set up a time, he set up a place, he set up everything. He was going to have God consciousness at a certain time and place. And he prepared for it the best he could. He went into it, did it, did the whatever technique he used. Nothing happened. He was disappointed. So it took maybe a couple weeks after that, this recognition came to him. And because he let go, he finally let go. You see, he was too fast forward, it came finally to him when he relaxed. And this reality is very, very special. And it reveals itself to us occasionally, through my experience at least. And it's very special when it does. It's just, there's nothing really. You go about your business, you do what you do, you contribute in the way you can for the benefit of the whole. Here in the new presentation, we have lots of projects that we can do to help others wake up. and in doing so, you wake up too. And in this process, the is, we call the is or the all is, this reality, it will reveal itself to us in, little by little, as much as we can handle, I suppose, but we can even say about it, that it confirms itself to you. And like Randy was saying, he was using, he was asking for confirmation, and I was too, in a certain point of my life, I was using experimentation just to get confirmation. There's something out there, something beyond what the teachings, the religious teachings, spiritual teachings are giving out. Well, yes, there is. There's something out there, you'd say, or something that's not even out there. It's just a recognition. And each person has their own way of connecting with it, of recognizing it, of perceiving it. And that's the cool thing about it, because each person has their own way of seeing it. And it just takes the creativeness and the contribution and the it just takes what it takes, whatever it takes, you'll find it, but you have to make the decision to find it and to see more of life. And this all is just so pervasive for everything. It encompasses everything. And I always thought about God, if God is what they say it is, then it's so much more bigger than what any religion can even encompass, entail, or in their doctrines and all that, and dogmas. So if it really is what it is, then it's like more than history, more than people's minds, more than anything they can consider. And here we have it in the new presentation. We term it as the is, that it really makes sense. It makes a lot more sense than the man-made religions and spiritual paths that have their place. That it really there's so much more, and we can access it. We have it right here: the real cure, the real guidance, the real education, and just have to keep it up and keep at it, and you will, like Randy had, you'll get confirmation. So go ahead. Thank you. Tim, do you have anything? Are you there, Tim, from Oregon?
Yeah, I'm here. Oh, I was just thinking about how anything's possible and this passing dream and about the Orions and the reptilian human farming here, and I was imagining. Huh?
Lila can hear you.
Yeah, all of a sudden. You're as clear as a bell. What happened?
Oh, great. I was imagining that some beings from in this physical realm, way out there somewhere, like Orion and like Syrians, but these beings would be coming from, who knows which galaxy or from where, and then they would make those little reptilians look very tiny and unpowerful and what I guess you'd call stupid by the way they're living in this physical psych realm stuff, and that if they told them if they didn't change their ways, that they would change them into atoms again. So they have the free will to do that to them. And that seems like things would be a lot different if the reptilians weren't the powers that be here in this physical Earth experience. It's just imagination in the passing dream.
Yeah, it's cool, Tim. That's what we're using, imagination, and we're like, I mean, the Syrians have tremendous mental powers. I mean, they went far into that part of themselves where they developed their imagination. That they can even move meteors. They can move large objects. They can move. They can, do things that to us it seems impossible almost. But imagination is a tool we have here, and we can utilize it. People are so dumbed down, and their imagination has been so hijacked by the controllers that they don't have that tool anymore. It's been taken away in a way through their agreement, but it's been taken away, and the controllers use that part of themselves to control them, because it is still in everybody in a certain capacity, in a certain sense. They're still there. It's still there, but it's being controlled. So through fear, through sensation, through sensationalism, and all that. So they have made a study of it. The controllers, they can social engineering. They've been able to manipulate the masses.
Speak up.
Okay. Yeah. So it's there. Yeah. And Randy, do you have it? Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Have you had any recent experiences you'd like to share that are recent?
None that would be, as interesting as the ones I've already, told about. I had, I'm trying to remember. I had one, I think, last night or the night before, one or two, but I can't really remember them very well. I'd just like to say, about going back to that experience I told about earlier, about when I was being chased by this creature, and I had Ganesh and Mother Mary picking me up. I guess the way I look at it is I look toward those beings in the past, and I remember reading one of the books I read as a teenager was Eckankor by Paul Twichell, and I believe he said my memory serves me, he said in that book that the Ascended Masters, and Mother Mary and Ganesha are Ascended Masters. Ascended Masters cannot take you or help you get to the real universes. So, whoever's all being the last one that picks me up, I think kind of signifies and represents me now relying on whoever's all and the guides and focusing on the ethos and the real universes instead of just the Ascended Masters and the astral realms and the realms that they are masters in. I don't think people realize that's a considerable mental step up from there. I thought for a long time that that was the pinnacle, was to work with the ascended masters and angels and these other great beings of light. But I've come to understand now that that's just, one level, and that there are other levels which beyond that. So I'm thankful that I have come to this knowledge and this understanding now, thanks to Dream. And I'm also thankful to Kelton for giving me that friend invite. I never would have found out about it otherwise, because the New Year's now. So, it's a process and it's an adventure. And I still got a long way to go. I've been at this for, I think, time does fly. I think it's been maybe 3 or 4 years now. And I'm still not where I'd like to be, but I'm going to keep working at it.
Yeah, it's great, Randy. It's great. You mentioned Dwayne, and he's mentioned that he doesn't really know anything. I mean, he's shared that his knowledge is nothing, basically, and that's so different than the masters who claim they know everything. They know, they have all this great wisdom. Well, his humility and his perspective is really interesting, because you see it. You see almost the all is that he perceived, and his relationship to it. Well, this isn't a personal self. His personal self is just like all of us. We're done in our personal self. His real awareness, he's got, he's everywhere in the creation world. He's the light, that guides us. But in their personal self, he's just like anybody else, and he, it's interesting to see his perspective, because it's just, you see that it's an ongoing process, and you're always becoming more aware, and there's no really room for being anything but having humility, because we're just so tiny compared to the whole of things. So there's always more. So it's always, you're in this position of awe, almost. I am, at least a lot of the time, it's awe, because it's so overwhelming that the mind can't see it, can't even consider it. You just do the best you can and contribute the way you can, and do the new you, and keep going with it. I think one of the main things is just keep going with it. You just got to keep trucking along, because this life is drudgery, and there's pain and suffering and torture, and people trying to, screw you over all the time, and so you just got to keep going, and then it'll work out if you just keep going and sing the new you, and do what you can to contribute.
And as Mark Twain says, it takes a lot.
It does.
And, and he's, I value what he represents. He'll presenting the new you. No one else that I know of is doing this, and so it's something to consider. I think people need to really look into this and consider what he's saying, and try out the new you. Test it out, like I did. I just, I wasn't, to begin with, I wasn't really agreeing with a lot of what Dwayne was saying. It was going against my beliefs, or things that I'd come to believe. But I thought I'll just continue with this new you because, I'm having experiences and something's happening, something's going on. And so I'm just going to just keep on and see what happens.
Well, does anybody else have anything to share? We're getting toward the end of the
time.
show. Yeah.
End of the bedtime stories.
Everybody getting sleepy here?
Yeah, so we thank you very much for being on and sharing tonight your experiences and your dreams and everything. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And I will say, Dean Val and I certainly wish you a very good evening, and may your dreams all come true. They're good ones. Good night.
And should we sing New You, everybody?
And yes, we better sing the New You.
Individually, maybe. Yeah.
New You,
you.